Okay, so some of our favorite animated characters are about to sound, well, a little different. We're talking about Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, of course, and for the upcoming Toy Story 5, they're getting brand new voices. So let's dive into what's happening and what it means for one of Pixar's absolute biggest franchises.
So this whole thing kind of blew up in a really interesting way. It all started with this fun fact in a fan video on YouTube, and just like that, it dropped some huge news. Mr. Potato Head is being recast for Toy Story 5. Now, the video got the first name slightly wrong. It's actually Jeff Bergman, not Fred. But hey, the core info, it was spot on. And that one little nugget of information really opens up a whole new chapter for these classic toys.
And get this, it's not just Mr. Potato Head. Both of our favorite Spuds are getting new voices. The absolutely legendary Don Rickles and Estelle Harris are passing the torch to two veteran voice actors, Jeff Bergman and Anna Vicino. This is a huge deal, you guys. It's the first time in the entire history of the franchise that both characters will have new voices in a big movie.
To really get why this is such a big moment, we've got to take a step back and appreciate the absolute icons who brought these toys to life in the first place. Their performances weren't just memorable. In so many ways, they became the characters.
First up, the man, the myth, the legend, Don Rickles, an Emmy-winning comedy titan. I mean, they nicknamed him Mr. Warmth because of his razor-sharp insult comedy, which is just hilarious. And he gave Mr. Potato Head that perfect, grumpy, cynical, sarcastic edge, but you always knew he was a big softy underneath all that plastic. That's a personality you just can't fake.
And then, of course, there's the unforgettable Estelle Harris. Seriously, if you've ever seen even one episode of Seinfeld, you know that voice as Estelle Costanza. She brought that same wondrously unique, kind of shrill, but so deeply caring energy to Mrs. Potato Head. She was the perfect, loving, maybe slightly panicked matriarch for the whole toy gang. The sweet to his sour, you know?
So, when these two incredible performers passed away, it left Pixar with a really huge challenge. Not just creatively, but emotionally too. I mean, how do you even begin to continue the story when two of your most recognizable voices are gone?
Yeah, and when you actually look at the timeline, it really hits you just how tough this was. Don Rickles passed away back in 2017, right before he could record anything for Toy Story 4. Then, in 2022, we lost the wonderful Estelle Harris. With both of them gone, a change for Toy Story 5 wasn't just a possibility anymore, it was pretty much a certainty.
So that brings up a really good question, right? If Don Rickles passed away before production started, how in the world was Mr. Potato Head so present in Toy Story 4? Well, what Pixar did was, honestly, it was genius. And just so respectful.
Okay, this is amazing. With his family's blessing, the director and his team literally went digging through 25 years of unused recordings from the first 3 films. They painstakingly stitched together his entire performance from that old audio. Can you just imagine the work that took? It was just this monumental effort to make sure his legacy was honored.
And in the end, the movie became something more. It was a beautiful tribute. That dedication you see in the credits was just this perfect, poignant farewell. It really cemented his legacy as the one and only Mr. Potato Head for an entire generation.
Okay, so that brings us to Toy Story 5. With the original voices having sadly passed on, the torch had to be handed over. So, let's meet the new talent who are stepping into these incredibly iconic roles. Stepping in as Mr. Potato Head is Jeff Bergman. And listen, if you need someone to fill the shoes of an absolute legend, he is the guy to call. This is one of the people who officially took over voicing Bugs Bunny from the master, Mel Blanc. I mean, come on, the man has decades of experience voicing some of the most famous characters in history. And joining him as the new Mrs. Potato Head is Anna Vicino. She's been officially listed in the cast for the movie, so it's a done deal. And while she has a huge pair of, plastic high heels to fill, it's also really exciting to think about what kind of new energy she can bring to such a well-loved character. This really is a huge moment for the whole Toy Story franchise. It's all about finding that really delicate balance, right? You have to deeply honor the incredible legacy that Don Rickles and Estelle Harris left behind, while also making sure these characters we all love can keep having adventures for a whole new generation of fans. So yeah, the voices are going to be new, but the spirit of that grumpy, lovable Spud and his wonderful wife is gonna live on. But this all brings up a much bigger question, one that pretty much every long-running franchise has to face eventually. What's the best way to carry on a character's legacy? Do you try to find a perfect sound-alike, or do you go for a fresh interpretation? I guess we'll all have to wait for Toy Story 5 to see which path Pixar decided to take.